When it comes to travel, we are seeing the showers, as you mentioned, Katie, diminishing. We had widespread rain earlier today. Still some spotty rain for the rest of your Tuesday. Breezy winds. Now, tomorrow's our transitional day. We'll start off pretty mild. Temperatures in the 50s. Those temperatures drop like a rock throughout the morning and into the afternoon, allowing any moisture to change over to some snow. Minor accumulations. Winds really start to ramp up at that point. Then we get into Thanksgiving. Lake effect snow travel negatively impacted and wind chills in the teens. Radar shows us how we have had that widespread rain throughout the course of this morning, afternoon. Last 2-3 hours, it started to pull away, and we have just a couple of lingering, much lighter showers. We've seen so far about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain, and as we move throughout the rest of tonight, we're not expecting to see too much more in ways of rain accumulation. But of course, the focus is going to be the snow, the cold, the wind. We'll break it all down for you, talk about timing, and get into more of the nitty-gritty of the forecast coming up in just a few.
Okay.
So, well, just as a
messy.
rule, when it comes to Thanksgiving week, I one time made the decision to just get back to Louisville where I had worked and go on Sunday. Terrible decision. It took forever. So, I mean, that's a good thing about driving. You get a little bit more freedom about paying attention to the forecast, kind of choosing your time of when you want to go. And of course, we have some implications with weather. You heard him mention it. That's the biggest issue that will be, it kind of gets worse. Tomorrow, we'll put it back to the orange and then red for Thursday and Friday because travel could be tricky, difficult. There's so much to break down, so I'm quite literally going to go into some bullet points here. We have falling temperatures, so we're going to focus on temperatures first, then the winds, then the snow. So first things first, rain has pulled away for the most part. We still have got a couple of spotty showers, not nearly as widespread as what we were dealing with a couple of hours ago, but it is mild outside. 54 degrees in Cleveland, 53 for Akron, 54 for Worcester. Winds have started to pick up just a touch. We have right now 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. Everybody's cloudy, everybody's damp. Temperatures in the mid 50s, and there's barely any movement for the next 18 hours. Then you start to see the drop really happen as we get into tomorrow morning and the afternoon. So by the afternoon, 35 degrees. It's going to feel even colder. Winds are picking up during that time as well. So out the door, it's not that bad. By noon, we're at 41. By 6 p.m., 34. This will allow that transition from rain over to snow. And in the meantime, we're picking up our winds as well. Wind advisory issued for several of our communities goes into effect at 10 a.m. Wednesday, remains in effect until 4 a.m. Thanksgiving. So the strongest winds expected tomorrow, starting about the mid-morning, continuing throughout the afternoon and evening. So here we are at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. Winds over 35 miles per hour. Once we get into the afternoon, that's when they're over 40, over 45. That will continue into the evening. So tomorrow at this time, winds are howling. We could have power outages, any decorations out there ending up in the neighbor's yard. And so you want to be aware of that. That's the first precursor of the changes that we're expecting. The winds pick up, the temperatures drop. Wind chills over the next 48 hours. So not an issue right now, not an issue early tomorrow. It's once we get to that mid-morning, afternoon time frame, and then wind chills stay into the teens all the way through Thanksgiving. Now we have to talk about, of course, the snow. Winter storm watch issued Cuyahoga, Lake, Geauga, Ashtabula. This is where we are expecting the greatest impacts, the highest snowfall. This is looking like a primary snow belt event where you could see over 6 inches in a couple of these spots. When we look at the future radar, you see that the rest of tonight has just these sporadic rain showers. Into tomorrow, the front pushes through, temperatures dropping by mid to late morning. In the afternoon and evening, for that evening drive, there is that possibility of seeing some light snow, maybe an inch of snow across the area. But then by Thanksgiving, it becomes all of that lake effect, and that's when it's for tonight. There is still a couple of showers, wet pavement, the sun's already down, but overall, next few hours, not really our issue. We're gonna have mild temperatures, very steady numbers. We're bringing in the first low pressure that brought all of that rain that we were dealing with throughout the course of today, and then the second system hot on its heels. I mean, look what's happening up into Minnesota. that very cold system is moving toward us. So conditions are only going to start to deteriorate as we move into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Several day event here. When it comes to the snowfall, a few light snow showers expected tomorrow, truthfully afternoon and evening. So don't be surprised to see some of those flakes flying. Minor accumulation. Intensity really picks up Thanksgiving morning. You're prepping the turkey. That's when we're expecting that 1, maybe 2 inches of snow per hour. We'll talk more about timing coming up in just a few.
Sure is in good hands. I'm reminded of that every time you step foot into a school.
And some admitted they watch the news from time to time.
Yeah, maybe I think that
Their
this
parents
helps.
and grandparents, they said definitely.
Yes.
But we said, hey, try us out.
Yeah.
We said hit us up too on our Instagram page and social
TikTok,
media because
follow us there.
we have videos there.
Yes,
And talked a lot
absolutely.
about too, like identifying like fake news, like AI generated stuff. Like they're savvy.
I put a lot of faith in the younger
That's
generation
what we
for
told us.
that.
This, you guys got
I get duped a lot by like animal videos. It's really bad.
Like reading the fine print.
It's like the comments like this is clearly AI.
a
I'm like,
puppy and a bunny hugging. It's so sweet.
Cross-referencing.
Being held by a bird.
all right, let's get to the forecast. We do have so much swiftly throughout the morning, and by the afternoon, it feels so much colder. Temperatures currently pretty mild, low, middle 50s, very steady numbers until they're not. Here we go from 9 to 11 to 1. Look at that drop here, just a slide off. Chutes and ladders, it's that shoot for tomorrow. And we have just a couple of lingering light showers out there right now, getting a break from all of the rain that we dealt with. Those widespread showers earlier this morning from the first low. Then you get the secondary low with the powerhouse cold front as that pushes through, kicks up our winds, decreases our temperatures, allows snow to develop. Winds increase tomorrow around the time that the temperatures are dropping, so they'll be inverted. You'll see that the winds really pick up Wednesday morning. Temperatures go down Wednesday morning and afternoon. So we have a wind advisory in effect for nearly every single one of our communities. Just a little fun fact here that Coshocton, Tuscarawas, Carroll County, they're controlled when you get your alerts at the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh. The rest of us are from Cleveland, so there's some discrepancy there. It's going to be gusty no matter what, but we are expecting wind gusts over 40 miles per hour during that time of the advisory. Could be over 45 to 50. Sporadic power outages possible. It can be difficult to travel when it's that breezy, and it will still be windy on Thanksgiving, but the peak of the winds expected for tomorrow. Then we will also have, with breezy winds, wind chills in the teens. That starts tomorrow and continues into Thanksgiving. We also have the winter storm watch. This will be updated to either an advisory, likely for some of us a warning. So a lake effect snow warning will likely be issued. So currently we have the watch, ingredients in place. We're working on the fine details here. It's in effect until 7 p.m. on Friday for Lake Ashtabula, Cuyahoga, and Geauga. So this is a primary snow belt event. Looking at the rest of this evening, just a couple of sporadic light rain showers. There's the front. Couple showers in the morning, rain showers. Then it transitions over to snow. Minor accumulations possible here. So tomorrow in the afternoon and evening as temperatures drop, don't be surprised if you see some snow around. It really ramps up in intensity though on Thanksgiving, particularly Thanksgiving morning and into the afternoon is when we are expecting the snowfall rates, 1, maybe 2 inches per hour. So
You plan your travels.
yeah, that's the goal, right? To let you know of what we are expecting. And you mentioned it, that we have the threat for snow, but wind is a factor too, cold temperatures for everybody. And so travel just continues to get a little bit more negatively impacted once we get to the actual holiday, particularly Thanksgiving morning, kind of looking like the bullseye. And we had soggy conditions today, widespread showers, 100% chance for rain earlier today. In comparison to that, we have seen a big decrease in the coverage. 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain has fallen for almost everybody across Northeast Ohio. And currently Power 5 got a couple showers down to the south here, Carroll County, Tuscarawas, a couple more showers, but they're very, very light. And in comparison, we're getting a nice little break here. Now, the next system hot on its tail. We had this first low that pushes through. This is our warm one. Then you have the cold system. You see the snow behind it. That's all that cold air going to be pushing right toward us. Over the next couple of days, things start to get more interesting. So spotty showers for the rest of today, breezy winds. Tomorrow is when we have the transition happen. Temperatures drop, winds increase, wind advisory for Wednesday. Thanksgiving, it's all about the lake effect snow. We're going to talk about timing, a little bit about totals, still a little too soon, but we'll break that down for you coming up.
Okay, Katie, there's more because of the.
Good morning. That's so
But
cool.
it was real too. I mean, he's like, tell everybody at the station I said hello, and I mean, his mom said that he really does
birthday.
just sit and watch the news.
Love that.
He's
Hey,
such
Mason.
beautiful eyes.
Yes. And
That was fun.
we like having the youth watch us, right?
Yes.
Mason, get your friends to watch too. We appreciate it. Was he surprised?
He was.
Good.
Yes, I could tell exactly. Yes, he was.
That's very fun. And tomorrow, some schools are in, some are not, but we are going to be seeing that transitional day for the school day tomorrow until more so about like mid-morning tomorrow, and it will happen gradually from west to east. Right now, we have mostly cloudy conditions. The rain has subsided a lot. In comparison to 6-8 hours ago, it is much drier out there, but it still kind of has that damp feel from the quarter to a half an inch of rain that we picked up. And for the rest of this evening, I'm going to keep an isolated to widely scattered shower. They'll be light, not nearly as impactful as what we had earlier today. Out the door tomorrow morning, here we go. It's still very mild, upper 40s, low 50s. By the time we get closer to lunchtime, temperatures are falling into the 30s. It's also going to get very gusty during this time frame. Gusts over 40 miles per hour possible. With temperatures continuing to drop, any moisture left over, little burst of snow. This means everybody gets a little taste of the snow before it becomes lake effect. I'm not expecting a lot of accumulation from this, but it could be slick. You're seeing that transition, a lot happening. Road crews trying to get out there, so anything could be slick just from rain and then eventually over to that snow. So we definitely want tomorrow for that evening drive, you to be aware of the fact that it could be slippery on the roads already. Then we move into Thanksgiving morning. Lake effect takes over. The worst of the lake effect is expected Thanksgiving morning into the afternoon. We will continue to have the threat for lake effect all throughout Thanksgiving and into early on Black Friday, but that's when it looks like we could see 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour. This is a bullseye for, at least at this point, looking like a bullseye for the primary snow belt. So that includes Cuyahoga, portions of Cuyahoga, the more east that you live, Lake, Ashtabula, and Geauga. Next few hours, really not our issue, kind of the quiet part of the forecast. Mild morning, 50 degrees. By noon, we're already dropping into the 40s and 30s. Gusty winds, 40 to 50 miles per hour. Rain changing over to snow in the afternoon. Almost all of us are included in wind advisory, 10 a.m. Wednesday till 4 a.m. Thursday. It'll still be blustery on Thanksgiving, but the strongest winds expected tomorrow in that time frame where the temperatures are dropping. And it's already a little bit breezier out there right now. Gusts of 15 to 25, but tomorrow, when it could exceed 40, 45 mile per hour winds. Sporadic power outages will be possible, difficult to travel if you have a big vehicle. Plus, it's going to feel colder. We'll have wind chill values starting tomorrow into Thanksgiving in the teens. That winter storm watch will get updated, and that's where we are expecting the worst of the snow. When we're talking about the snow. Change gears here, get you an update on the forecast. We have been dealing with soggy conditions most of today. Widespread steady rain this morning. By the afternoon, we started to see these break apart a little bit, but there are still showers out there. They're just lighter, becoming a little bit more widely scattered. When all was said and done, about a quarter to a half an inch for most of us. And when we look at the Power 5 right now, you see that there are still some of these very, very light showers showing up on the radar. It's more of a nuisance than anything else. It's just keeping it damp out there. Next few hours, temperatures are staying mild. We'll have breezy winds, a couple of showers here and there. They're pretty light. Tomorrow, things start to get interesting. Tomorrow's our
Fifth graders were there. They all came down to the gym. I said, I don't really have anything prepared.
I don't have a speech. I'm just here for Mason. Well, happy birthday, Mason. That's so fun.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nice guy. Nice kid.
Yeah, and thank you for watching. And hopefully we're getting you all that information, prepping for everybody for the holiday, busy holiday that we will still be dealing with blustery winds and wind chills in the teens. So right now, 50s, very mild, not too shabby. We're not dealing with too many issues over the next few hours, just these lingering lighter showers that we have on the Power 5. I'm going to keep that in the forecast throughout the rest of this evening, tonight, even into tomorrow. Then as temperatures drop, We'll see the transition tomorrow in the afternoon over to some snow showers. Notice how fast it happens. Out the door, still mild. Looking good. It happens fast. Mid to late morning, everybody's much colder during the afternoon, and certainly by this time tomorrow, it is cold and it is going to be windy with those gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. During the afternoon and evening, I want everyone to be aware, while we're not expecting a ton of accumulation, it could certainly be slick, slippery, maybe even icy in spots, anything untreated as we see this transition happen across the area. It is going to be more significant snowfall once we get into Thanksgiving, but Futurecast shows us here. We have the warm temperatures, the showers, the rest of tonight into tomorrow. So like the next 12 hours, really no big issues. It's once we get into the mid-morning, early afternoon, temperatures fall into the 30s, and you get this little burst of snow. This is what I'm talking about. Afternoon and evening tomorrow, where we could get a quick coating of snow, making it a little bit slick on the roads. Then we move into Thanksgiving, and that becomes more of the lake effect. South, south and west. You're not going to be dealing with nearly as great of impacts. This does look like it's going to be hitting the primary snowbelt, particularly in Geauga County, portions of Cuyahoga, the more east that you live, Southern Lake. That's where we are expecting the highest snowfall totals, the greatest accumulation, greatest impacts. The lake effect is going to be at its most intense early on Thanksgiving morning and into the afternoon, gradually tapering off on Black Friday. Everybody's going to be dealing with the winds tomorrow. Strongest winds for Wednesday goes into effect 10 a.m. for this wind advisory. Wind advisories are issued when you could see wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. We have already had some of those large vehicles not prohibited to drive on our interstates over the course of the next day because of those gusty winds that we are expecting. For you, sporadic power outages. We could see decorations blowing about. And notice here that wind chill values falling into the teens by tomorrow. Winter storm watch will get updated for the primary snowbelt. It does include 4